Bob Cupp has a long history of public service, from county commissioner to House Supreme Court justice to Ohio Speaker of the House. In a couple of days, he will be giving up his gavel and leaving office. Jeff Fitzgerald sat down with him to talk about his time as Speaker and his life in politics.
Let's look at 2022, your year as House Speaker, or this past year as House Speaker. Some of the things that jump out at you that got done in 2022.
The main thing, it's a 2-year session, so 21, 22 kind of blend together. We were able to pass a state budget that is in balance, and it had a substantial tax cut for all Ohioans, 3% across the board. We flattened our tax brackets to make it flatter and fairer, as we say. And we also raised the threshold up to $25,000 before anybody has to pay any state income tax, so that they can spend the needs they have on their families and their own needs. And we enacted a new school funding framework for Ohio's public schools, and also expanded the opportunity for school choice. It's a project of the new state school funding formula. It was about 30 years in the making. We spent about 3 years crafting a mechanism to do it, to be able to support the schools that are less able to raise money locally. So it passed. It's a 3 budget phase in, so over 6 years we have the first 2 in, and so hopefully the General Assembly will continue to phase it in.
How do you look back on this career?
Well, one thing, I feel very fortunate because I enjoy working in public policy, trying to solve public problems, being able to have policies that create opportunity for individuals so that we can have prosperous communities, that we can have children that are well educated. So I've just really enjoyed doing that. And yes, the legislature can be frustrating. It can be a long delay in getting things done, but you have to take that, weigh that against the opportunity to actually get things accomplished. Some of the most satisfying things are things that nobody else has ever heard of. Somebody has a problem, they call their legislator, they say, here's my problem, and then you go to work trying to find a solution. And it doesn't require a big bill, it requires a little tweak in the law, and you can get that done without fanfare, and you know you've really helped accomplish. So you add those up over the years, and you've actually helped a lot of people in a lot of ways. But it was, and I had, as somebody who really admires our founding fathers of this country and the way they built the Constitution, made the Constitution based on experiences they had, to see that sort of work and being part of the different branches of state government, to see how the checks and balances work, the separation of powers work. It's just a fascinating thing to measure reality against theory. And my conclusion is, of course, the founding fathers were absolute geniuses, and they understood human behavior and really built something to last. So it's been exhilarating to be in it. Yes, sometimes frustrating, sometimes exhausting, but I have a satisfaction that we've been able to accomplish some good things for our communities, for our state, and for the people, of course, who make them up. And what really kind of a highlight was the last 2 years, when the Senate President was from Lima, or Allen County, and I'm from Allen County, and I don't think that's happened in at least a century or more from anybody from the same county being head of both chambers. So we really worked well together, and the House of Representatives with 99 members and the Senate with 33 members are really very different bodies in many respects. The House is much more dynamic. It's much more reflective of current public mood, and members, want to do things to reflect that mood. The Senate, because it's has 3 times as many people, it's a different makeup. It's a little more deliberative and reflective, and weighs things the long term a little more. So when you put those together, there's often kind of a clash in the current moment about what should be done. So we're heading up very different chambers, but we were able to work together. And when we came to differences, we were able to work those out, get around it. So I think we've had some really 2 very productive years, and it was great to work with somebody that I could trust, who I knew, and I think that's the same, vice versa.
Well, soon to be former Speaker of the Ohio House of Representatives, Bob Cupp, thanks for joining us.
It was my pleasure. Thank you.
If you'd like to see Jeff's complete interview with Speaker Cupp, you can log on to hometownstations.com. Could some rain showers be the theme for the first week of 2023? Our meteorologist Connor Prince will have looked at your weather forecast when we return.